Hey guys, it's Dandy. So today I have a little bit of a sort of different kind of video for you guys. There's been a lot going on this week, so I wanted to do something still fun, but something kind of chill. So this is my traveler's notebook inserts from 2022. This was the first year I started using traveler's notebooks. It was actually the first year I really started journaling consistently. I didn't use anything else at the time. It was just me and my traveler's notebook against the world. And I actually only recently got this archival binder for it. And I really like it. I managed to fit my 2022 books in here. But as you can see, as things get with me, she is a little bit chunky. So I have to hold her together with this band. So we're just gonna do a quick flip of these books. So I got my first official traveler's notebook in 2022 in January. I ordered it as I was leaving for a Universal trip, and then when I got home it was in the mail. But yeah, so this is my monthly. I used to use the big full monthlies for the regular size traveler's notebooks. Of course, I've figured out a different way to do that now. I've got my little passport monthly alongside my regular size dailies. At the time, I was just like, I have to do everything the same size everything. And as you can see, I've always been a chronic over-decorator. But back then, I guess I was an over-explainer too, because I've got a lot of stuff written that didn't need to be written. But that's okay. These stickers I actually made myself. I have no idea where the original file for these are, but most of these stickers on this page, the green, the blue, the purple, I made those. And when I first started my Etsy, I was selling those. But of course I don't anymore. I don't even know where those original files are at this point, but that's fun to see. There was no really consistency. I was just putting in whatever I wanted, and you know what? Good for me. I'm glad I did that. December didn't get a lot of love though, I guess. And that is the monthly there, and this is the first regular size notebook that I had. Of course, decorated the front, Hetalia, Uncharted. This is also when I got my stand-up paddle board. I haven't been able to use it much since buying it, which is crazy to think because that was 4 years ago now, but that's okay. Stickers in the front. This is when I got it, and it got my cover in the mail, so we've got, they put fun stamps on the packaging, so I ripped those out to keep. Polaroid of the book. When I first started journaling, it was a mix of messy and collagey, and I feel like since I've started really journaling, I've kind of refined my, I guess, style, you could say. This page was really cute. I really liked this page when I did it. This is when we went a day downtown, and I got some more stuff for my book. Lots of feelings. I used to write down my feelings a lot more than I do now, which is probably not a good thing. I probably should get back on that. This, I guess, is a dream life kind of spread thing here. I would just write down ideas. This is a day we went hiking. That was a really fun day. I really miss days like that. This is when I got a bunch of stickers and stuff from AliExpress. I still haven't used all of these yet in 4 years. I've still got a bunch of those left. This is another day out. We did some photo booth stuff. That's always fun. This is self-indulgent Jeff the Killer art. And then this is another day out. I think this was for my 21st, yeah, this was for my 21st birthday. We went out again. That's crazy that that was that long ago. I like to cut out little notes that's left in like cards and stuff, because I don't like keeping the entire birthday cards sometimes when it's not the only personalization is the writing, or if it's got a nice note in here, I'll keep that just to keep it compact, I guess, kind of. Sometimes I would just put in a background and then just a quote sticker that I had. This is a concert I went to with Tally. This is when I painted my walls. This is when that wall over there first turned green. I actually am liking the other color that I used on the rest of my walls a lot less now, and I'm probably going to repaint it soon. Not the green wall, but the other walls. I've picked out... It's not quite white, but it's almost white. It's pretty white. But I want a kind of more neutral color, you know, to go on the rest of the wall, with the one wall being so green. I feel like there needs to be some neutrality so it's not quite so overwhelming, if that makes sense. I was a Polaroid fiend in this book. All of my pictures I printed out are mostly Polaroids. This is when a friend got me some 4-leaf clovers. This is, I think I got really emotional and then I hated it and I ripped it out. So, this is just another cover for a page. Mother's Day. Some doodles that I drew. And then I used to do the thing where in the back of the book where I didn't know what else to write, I would just stick stuff in there. And that's all it was. So that's the rest of the book. And then this one is May to November. So this one at the front was January to May, and this one was May to November. I say it still, but I always like to do like an update and about me at the beginning of each book, especially if it's been a little while since the previous book had started. Just to, you know, it's cool to see my growth in that way. Here's my Hermes page. Tea and Spice Exchange. I guess this was, yeah, a day to the mall. I guess I could read the words that I wrote. This was a mall day. Got some stuff. I love photo booths. They're so fun. This was when we went to the Atlanta Zoo. This was a lot of fun. We stopped by Buc-ee's on the way there. I love when things have maps, paper maps still. Sadly, that is coming to an end in a lot of places, which really sucks. This was the photo booth there, and then we also stopped by the Martin Luther King National Historic Site, National Historic Park, while we were there because it was close by. And that was cool to see too. This is when we unstuffed Buddy to really give him a good deep clean and went to restuff him, and it was the most stressful thing ever. I couldn't even unstuff him myself. I had to get help because I just kept crying. Because Buddy, he's my well, it's like 9 in the morning here. Give me a second. He's like my comfort item as an autistic person for how many years now? Like 17 or 18 years now. So it was really stressful to do that, but I'm glad I did. This is when I first got my Conkin from Fjallraven. I ended up getting the clay color, and I fell out of love with it, and now I need to get a different one. Probably a mini rather than a big one. I don't need to, but I would like to get a mini rather than the big one, and in a color that I like a little more now. This was my first roll of film that I ever shot. That was really fun. This was a little hike we did. This was my first time flying. It'd always been a dream of mine to fly. It always seemed like something so like magical and fantastical, and something that like I would never get to do. Growing up, you know, poor, and my parents had never really had never flown, and they never really traveled much. Um, so the fact that I my Alex, he moved to Orlando, and I didn't get to drive down with him and his nana anymore. So to get to him, I had to fly. And so I just booked a flight, and I was like, "Hey, um, I'm going in a plane in a couple months," and I did it all by myself for the first time ever. I remember everybody freaking out for me, like, "Aren't you scared?" And I was like, "Nah, dude, I get to fly." And I guess, really, in hindsight, I could see how it is kind of scary for me to have done that, but it was like the coolest thing ever. So of course we went to Universal, and this is when Universal still had paper maps. Again, I miss that more than anything. I so wish they still did paper maps. I understand how it can be expensive, and they do just kind of get thrown away by most people. But like, I wish they would still have like a little stash for people that really cared about paper maps that they would give. Like, you would have to ask specifically at like guest services or something, because I would do that every single time. Every single time. Green Goblin and the Pumpkin Lord. This was a really good Halloween Horror Nights season. I really enjoyed it that year. I think this was the year that they also did a house called Dead Man's Pier or something like that. Winter's Wake, Dead Man's Wharf. It was like a spooky ocean kind of like seaside, dockside kind of thing, and I really loved it. First time flying, on the way back, my flight got delayed and I missed my connecting flight. Luckily, it was in Atlanta, and that's close enough for my dad to come pick me up, but I was like freaking out. I had left my suitcase at the help desk. I cried my eyes out on the train, and some guy had to catch me so I didn't fall. But looking back now, it's kind of funny. And even though at the time it was horrifying, I got myself a coffee roll and a drink from Starbucks while I waited on my dad. And this window was cool because you could see the planes take off and land. This was the first time I ever went to Dave & Buster's, I think. Got my driver's license, and we also went for another little walk. This was when we went to our local amusement park for Halloween, and this is when I got my upcoming stuff for 2023. Thanksgiving, and then just some closing notes and a couple of things pasted in. And then these last few pages here are empty. This is, I guess, was my test page. And this one I would show you, but there's lots of like really personal notes and stuff in here that I am scared to share. But this is just kind of like an emotion dump kind of thing. Here's some more of the stickers. Lighthouse, the Smokies. I don't know why I put the Smokies one on there. I guess I thought it would just look cool. I did not go to the Smokies that year. I went the next year. So I don't know why I put that one on there, but that's okay. Loch Ness Monster and Otis. My boy Otis from Katmai. Unfortunately, I think he's no longer with us. But I'll always love that guy. But yeah, that was my 2022 Traveler's Notebook books. Inserts. I am really excited to be back in Traveler's Notebook this year. It just feels more like me, I think. And I just think up until now I haven't really known how to go about my system the way I want to, the way that would be best for me. And this year I think I've finally cracked it. Knock on wood so far. But yeah, I've always liked Traveler's Notebook, and I think now I've finally figured out a good way to set it up for me in a cover that is best suited for me. I always thought you had to use the Traveler's Notebook covers, and not that I dislike them. There's just other styles of covers that work best for me, of course, which I have now, that I made myself. Trifold. Doesn't poke out everywhere. It's nice. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and I hope you have a great day, and I hope you're taking care of yourselves, and I love you. Bye!